I must say, Raya and the Last Dragon looked pretty cool going into it. I enjoy a lot of the Disney animated films, but one thing I forgot when heading into this film in theaters is that a lot of kids also go to see movies like this, Disney animated movies. Now I completely regret my decision seeing this film in theaters. Raya and the Last Dragon is the newest Disney animated feature. It has several directors and has voice talent from Kelly Marie Tran and Awkwafina. Separated by a powerful orb, the world of Kamandra is divided into 5 tribes, but one warrior sets out on a path to bring the 5 tribes back together and enlists the help of an ancient dragon. I didn't see a single trailer for Raya and the Last Dragon. I actually forgot this movie was even coming out. Initially, I thought this movie was only going to be on Disney Plus with premiere access. $30 ridiculous dollars you have to pay for that, by the way. Heck no, I wasn't paying that, and I was super ecstatic when I heard this movie was also going to theaters, so of course I went to go to see this movie in theaters and only paid $14 instead of the ridiculous $30. The only problem was I completely forgot that this is a kids movie, and what happens when you see kids movies in theaters? You deal with really annoying children. That is now 2 times I've complained about that in this review. All I'll say is that there were a group of 4 little girls with 2 older women in the row that I was sitting in, and the entire time the girls were acting up. They were jumping on the seats. They would not shut up. They were talking at high volume. It's like, why do you guys have to be so disrespectful? Please, if you go to see a movie with your kids, if they're younger especially, please tell them to be quiet and learn respect for others. Anyway, back to the film. I had 0 expectations for Raya and the Last Dragon, considering I had no idea what this movie was even about since I didn't watch any trailers, and this movie is another solid entry in the Disney animated films that are separate from the Pixar movies. Raya and the Last Dragon feels like a mix between Avatar: The Last Airbender, Mulan, and The Legend of Zelda. I'm a huge fan of all of those titles, so when you can mix together the vibe of each of those, I can't complain much. This movie excels from an action standpoint, from a fantasy world standpoint, as well as just being an overall solid animated movie. This movie is entertaining for everyone, not just kids, but adults too. The same goes for Avatar, Mulan, and The Legend of Zelda. It's not just kids who I've seen play those games and watch those movies and shows. I've also seen adults really enjoy those titles, so I think Raya and the Last Dragon does a great job in following suit and making this a really entertaining fantasy flick for everyone to watch and enjoy. But what makes those titles especially great is the ragtag team that leads the way for each of them. And in Raya, it's no different either. Each of our main characters are completely different, but when they come together, they use their own strengths to make up for everyone else's weaknesses. The character of Raya is a great leader. I cared an awful lot about her. She's somebody that everyone can look up to, while at the same time can kick a lot of butt. This person does not shy away from getting dirty and fighting against anybody who stands in her way. As for the rest of the team, they too are not afraid to get down and dirty, use their fists and weaponry, but at the same time, they are a great mix of personalities while also providing tons of comic relief. Must I say it again? I think I shall. I need to rejoice. Raya and the Last Dragon has no musical numbers. To some, this is probably really disappointing, considering that Raya is said to be a princess. Well, sorry to you people who love the princess movies with musical numbers, but I've never been a huge fan of those Disney films. Actually, I think musical numbers take away so much from a film story that it can honestly tarnish an entire movie. So having no music in Raya and the Last Dragon, I believe, is a huge plus. And the world building in Raya and the Last Dragon is so good. The movie does not hesitate to bring us to each of these tribes. We get to see a little bit of everything. By doing this, we get a better understanding of what each of these tribes truly looks like and what they are all about, especially with their cultures. So the movie excels to a great degree when trying to bring out that feeling of adventure when we explore these new tribes. And like some previous Disney animated films, Raya and the Last Dragon follows the same route Disney has been venturing towards with not having any real villain, which I appreciate. Having a villain in every single Disney movie gets tiresome, it's stale. We know exactly where the movie is going when a villain is introduced, so not having one in Raya and the Last Dragon is a nice change of pace. pace. From beginning to end, Raya and the Last Dragon was a blast, especially in the theater, despite those 2-year-old toddlers in the same row as me who would not shut the hell up. Besides them, I had a great time watching Raya and the Last Dragon. I have a couple of problems though. One of my problems is the dragon design in the film. The look of the dragon is cartoony. I don't see this dragon and think, that looks scary. That's what a dragon is supposed to look like, but in this movie, it looks more like a unicorn. It just looks like it was meant to be a 2D animated dragon, not as much a 3D animated dragon. In terms of plot, it's a bit too convoluted as well. If you're a kid, you might have some trouble following the plot because there are a lot of characters. There's tons of backstory between the orb, the dragons, and Kamandra. There's a lot to follow in the main story, especially when we get towards the end of the movie. It's not the easiest plot to follow. It doesn't help that the film glosses over some integral scenes. You would think that a movie called Raya and the Last Dragon, you would see Raya searching for this dragon for maybe the first 30 or so minutes, but the movie rushes through it and we find this dragon pretty quickly, and the dragon is in a majority of this movie. Had they not rushed that, it would have felt more earned, but the movie decides to skip over a lot of Raya's journey to finding this dragon, so that was a little bit disappointing. I feel like it would have been better had they given that more time. Besides that though, and the look of the dragon, I found this movie to be an overall blast. It's a really good Disney animated feature, and one that everyone will enjoy if they see it. I'm giving Raya and the Last Dragon an 81%. In the end, I'm just happy I got to see 2 films at the theaters in the span of a day. Who the heck would have thought I get to see 2 bigger releases in the same day in theaters? I sure as heck didn't. Alright, for those of you who also happened to see Raya and the Last Dragon this weekend, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. And as always guys, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.